The Wizard and the Drawer of Unanswered Papers. The wizard sat alone in his laboratory. Outside, the world continued its endless arguments. Politicians debated. Economists predicted. Markets rose. Markets fell. Commentators shouted about inflation, debt, tariffs, labor, capital, taxes, and trade. Yet the wizard sat quietly. The only sound was the ticking of an old brass clock. On the wall hung maps of forgotten kingdoms. On the table rested blueprints of machines that had never been built. The wizard was not thinking about money. He was thinking about paper and a drawer, a very special drawer. The Lady of Two Kingdoms. Many years earlier, the wizard's aunt had served between two great kingdoms. One kingdom was the Navy, the other was Congress. Her duty was not to command ships, nor to pass laws. Her duty was something stranger. She stood between worlds. Messages flowed through her office. Memorandums, legal opinions, budget requests, contract questions, policy reviews. Thousands upon thousands of pages. Every document wanted attention. Every document claimed importance. Every document believed it should be first. But there was only one pair of eyes, only one mind, only one day, only one desk. And so she learned a secret. Not every question could be answered immediately. The drawer. Inside her desk was a drawer. It was not classified. It was not hidden. It was not locked. Anyone authorized to request a document could ask. And if they did, she could produce it immediately. Yet certain papers found their way there. Not because they were forgotten, not because they were lost, but because they troubled her. Something felt incomplete. Something felt unclear. Something deserved more thought. Something seemed to contain consequences nobody had fully considered. Rather than approve them blindly, she placed them in the drawer. "I will revisit this later," she would say. Then another urgent matter arrived. And another. And another. The drawer slowly filled. The river of paper. The wizard leaned back in his chair. He imagined all the governments of history. Empires. Kingdoms. Republics. Federations. All of them built from paper. A road project begins with paper. A war begins with paper. A tax begins with paper. A budget begins with paper. A law begins with paper. Money itself often begins with paper. The wizard smiled. People imagine economics as rivers of money. Sometimes economics is really rivers of paperwork, and paperwork moves much slower than imagination. The mystery. What puzzled the wizard most was this. Very few people ever came asking for the contents of the drawer. Years passed. The drawer grew. Yet the requests rarely came. The wizard wondered why. Did nobody care? Had priorities changed? Were the questions no longer relevant? Or had the entire system simply adapted around their absence? The hidden tax. The wizard opened a notebook. Across the top he wrote, "The tax nobody measures." Beneath it he wrote, "Delay." Not malicious delay, not corruption, not incompetence, simply delay. A document waiting, a decision postponed, a review deferred, a signature pending, a clarification requested, a question unanswered. The wizard realized that delay itself acts like a tax, not measured in dollars, measured in time. And time is often more valuable than money. A factory waits, a builder waits, an inventor waits, an investor waits, a worker waits. The paperwork sleeps, the economy waits. The secret of flow. The wizard then thought about the tile shower. An order arrived. Knowledge flowed. Tools were purchased. Work began. Production occurred. Payment followed. Everything moved. The system flowed. Then he compared it to the drawer. A document arrived. A question emerged. A decision paused. A file entered storage. Flow slowed. Nothing necessarily failed. Nothing necessarily broke. But movement became slower. The river became a pond. The universal drawer. The wizard realized that every organization possesses a drawer. Governments have drawers. Corporations have drawers. Universities have drawers. Churches have drawers. Families have drawers. Even individuals have drawers. Unfinished projects. Unanswered letters. Ideas waiting for review. Dreams postponed until later. Questions deferred indefinitely. The drawer is not always physical. Sometimes it exists only in the mind. The economics of attention. The wizard wrote another note. Attention is the rarest currency. Not gold, not silver, not dollars, not digital credits. Attention. Every decision requires it. Every review requires it. Every act of judgment consumes it. The world's greatest bottleneck was not money. It was human attention. A billion-dollar project can stall because one person must review one document. A life-changing opportunity can wait because it sits beneath 27 other priorities. The wizard found this both amusing and terrifying. The cosmic filing cabinet. As midnight approached, the wizard drifted into thought. What if the universe itself had a drawer? A place where unresolved questions accumulated, unanswered mysteries, forgotten civilizations, lost inventions, ancient knowledge, strange coincidences, unexplained phenomena. Perhaps somewhere beyond time stood an enormous cosmic filing cabinet, and perhaps every mystery humanity ever pondered rested inside, waiting, not rejected, not approved, simply waiting for someone to ask the right question. The final reflection. The laboratory clock struck midnight. The wizard closed his notebook. He finally understood what his aunt had taught him. Civilizations do not merely move at the speed of money. They move at the speed of decisions. And decisions move at the speed of attention. Sometimes a nation advances because of a brilliant new invention. Sometimes it advances because somebody finally opens a drawer. The wizard smiled. Then he wrote one final sentence before extinguishing the lamp. History is often the story of papers that moved and papers that didn't. And somewhere, in an old office long ago, a drawer quietly waited for its next visitor. Global Robotics Corporation, Robert Coley,